Welcome to Blue Card Prep Academy. Video 2. Characteristics of real property. 7 characteristics, 2 categories, and they show up on the exam every time. Let's get into it. Real property isn't just land and buildings. It has specific characteristics that make it behave differently from any other kind of asset. And those characteristics are exactly why real estate markets work the way they do. Once you understand them, a lot of what comes later just clicks into place. There are 7 total, split into 2 groups, economic and physical. There are 4 economic characteristics: scarcity, improvements, permanence of investment, and area preference. Let's go through each one. First up is scarcity. And this one's pretty simple. There's only so much land. You can build more buildings, but you can't manufacture more earth. The total supply is fixed, and because supply is limited, land has value. That's the foundation of why real estate is worth anything at all. Now, scarcity doesn't mean land is equally scarce everywhere. There's plenty of open land in rural areas. But in a specific location like downtown, supply really is capped. That local scarcity is what pushes prices up in desirable areas. Second is improvements. This one recognizes that what humans do to land changes its value. Put up a building, install utilities, pave a road, and the property's economic value shifts, sometimes dramatically. And it goes both directions. Positive improvements add value. But it also includes changes that reduce value, like building a new shopping center or selecting a site for a nuclear power plant or toxic waste dump near a residential neighborhood. The point is that real property's value isn't static. It responds to what gets built on it or around it. Third is permanence of investment, sometimes called fixity. This is about the long-term nature of real estate as an investment. When money goes into land or a building, it's committed. You can't easily pull it out or reposition it the way you might with stocks or cash. Think about building a commercial property. You're not just buying a piece of land. You're sinking capital into something that's going to sit in that exact spot for decades. That's fixity. The investment is anchored to the land, and it's going to be there for a long time whether conditions change or not. Fourth is area preference, and this one has a specific term you need to know for the exam: situs. S-I-T-U-S. Situs refers to people's preferences for one location over another. It's not about the physical features of the land. It's about what people think of a particular area. The school district, the neighborhood reputation, proximity to jobs, access to transportation. All of that shapes preference, and preference shapes value. Here's the thing about situs. 2 properties can be physically identical, and one will sell for significantly more because of where it sits. That's situs at work. They put this on the exam because it explains why location is the single biggest driver of real estate value, and why location is more than just a saying. Now, the physical characteristics. There are 3 of them: immobility, indestructibility, and non-homogeneity. These are about the nature of real property as a physical thing, not an economic one. First is immobility. Land can't be moved. You can technically relocate a building, but the land underneath it stays where it is. And this matters more than it might seem. Because land is immobile, everything about its value is tied to its specific location. Courts have jurisdiction based on where property sits. Tax authorities do too. And buyers can't pick up a parcel and move it somewhere more convenient. Whatever is good or bad about a property's location is permanent. Second is indestructibility. Land itself can't be destroyed. Buildings burn down, flood, get demolished. But the underlying land, the actual earth, is still there. You can't consume it, you can't eliminate it. Now, the value of land can absolutely be devastated. Contamination, flooding that makes it unusable, regulatory changes that wipe out its development potential. But the land itself persists. That distinction is what they're testing when this shows up on the exam. Third is non-homogeneity, which just means uniqueness. No two parcels of real property are exactly alike. Even two identical houses sitting side by side are on different pieces of land with different legal descriptions. Different address, different orientation, different soil composition. They're not the same parcel. This is why real estate can't be traded like commodities. A bushel of wheat is interchangeable with another bushel of wheat. But one property can't just be swapped for another the way shares of the same stock can. Each piece of real estate is its own unique thing. And that uniqueness is built into how it's bought, sold, described, and insured. Now a quick 4-question quiz covering what you just learned. There will be 5 seconds after each question to answer. If you need more time, just pause. Question 1. Which economic characteristic of real property explains why a home in one neighborhood sells for significantly more than a physically identical home in a different neighborhood? The correct answer is C. Situs. Situs is area preference, meaning people value some locations over others, and that preference drives price differences even when the physical properties are identical. That's exactly what the question describes. A. Scarcity is about the limited overall supply of land. It doesn't explain why one specific location is preferred over another. B. Fixity is about the long-term anchored nature of real estate investment. No connection to location-based price differences. D. Indestructibility is a physical characteristic, not an economic one, and has nothing to do with why buyers prefer one neighborhood over another. Questions 2. A developer builds a new retail strip mall next to a previously quiet residential neighborhood, and home values in the area decline. Which characteristic of real property best explains why those homeowners can't simply move their properties to a better location? The correct answer is D. Immobility. Land can't be relocated. Whatever happens in the surrounding area, the property stays where it is. That's immobility. And that's why the homeowners in the question have no way out. A. Scarcity is about the limited supply of land, not the inability to move it. B. Non-homogeneity means uniqueness. True of real estate generally, but it doesn't explain why a property can't be relocated. C. Permanence of investment is about capital being committed long-term. Related, but the specific characteristic here is the physical inability to move the land itself. Question 3. A fire destroys a house built on a residential lot. Which of the following best describes the condition of the real property after the fire? The correct answer is C. Indestructibility. Indestructibility means the land itself can't be destroyed. The house, the improvement, is gone, but the parcel of land is still there. A is wrong because real property isn't just the building. The land remains, and land is the core of what real property is. B is wrong because indestructibility refers to the land persisting. It says nothing about the value being permanently eliminated. Value can drop significantly, but that's separate from the land physically existing. D is wrong because immobility means you can't move the land somewhere else. It has nothing to do with whether you can rebuild on it. Question 4. Which of the following pairs correctly matches a characteristic with its category? The correct answer is B. Situs is economic. Indestructibility is physical. Situs, also called area preference, is an economic characteristic. Indestructibility is a physical characteristic. That pairing is correct. A is wrong on both counts. Scarcity is economic, not physical. Immobility is physical, not economic. Both are flipped. C is wrong. Fixity is an economic characteristic. Non-homogeneity is a physical characteristic. Both are flipped here too. D is wrong. Modification is economic. It's about how improvements change value. That part is correct. But scarcity is also economic, so the pairing gives you two economic characteristics instead of one from each category. Here's everything from this video in one place. 4 economic characteristics: scarcity, improvements, permanence of investment, and area preference, also called situs. And 3 physical: immobility, indestructibility, and non-homogeneity. Make sure you can place each one in the right category, because that's exactly how they test it. Hope this one was useful. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that, and the rest of the core concepts videos are in the playlist whenever you're ready to keep going.